So in this section, we will see how to install TypeScript. TypeScript will be converted into JavaScript first as the browser needs to run JavaScript. When I say installing TypeScript, it means we are installing the TSC, that is the TypeScript compiler. Now to install the TypeScript compiler, first we have to install Node.js, as we need the npm, that is the Node package manager, to install TypeScript compiler. So I'll go to the official site of Node.js. I'll say nodejs.org. Now you can install the latest version of Node or the recommended, that is the LTS, that is long-term support version as well. Doesn't matter much at the moment. Let me just click on this. I'll say LTS version. So now I'm downloading the Node.js. Now the one which is downloaded, I'm going to double click here and I'll follow the instruction to install the Node.js. Now to check that Node.js is installed or not, I'm going to go into the Visual Studio Code. I'll simply type node-v. This is going to show the version which is installed. In my case, it is 12.16.3, which is an older one, though I have already shown you the latest version. So when you type node-v, it will be a different version. Now the next step is I have to install the TypeScript compiler. For that, I can directly say npm install -g, that is the global installation, and the TypeScript. The command, if you want to know, you can go to the official site of TypeScript. Here there is a link called download. If you observe this, it says that npm install -g TypeScript. So this is the command which you have to try. Let me try that as well here and we'll press enter. So now the TypeScript is installed here. Once the TypeScript is installed, the next step, you want to check whether it is properly installed or not. You can say tsc, that is the TypeScript compiler, and again I'll say -v. It's going to show me the version. This shows that the TypeScript is installed and it shows the respective version as well. Let's try to create a simple example of TypeScript. When you want to create a TypeScript file, you're going to say .ts extension. Let's say I want to create a file called first.ts. Now right now I'm just going to type the JavaScript code only, though it is a TypeScript code, but both TypeScript and JavaScript at the moment for you is the same. So I'll say const, for example, I have function called sum. Assume that this sum function is returning a plus b, and this a and b variable I'm going to define here. I'll say a comma b. Now the next step is that I have to call this function, so I'll say 4 comma 5. The important point here is I am not using any strict type. So if I roll over the mouse, it says that the parameter is of type any. That means it can be any value passed to this function. Not necessarily it will perform the proper operation, but at the moment we'll live with this. What I want to explain here is, once you have this first.ts file, now if you want to, let's say, compile, because as you know that the TypeScript file is not going to execute directly, we need to convert it into JavaScript file. For that, I'm going to use the TypeScript compiler. I'll say tsc and then the file name. I have the file name called first.ts. Now if I want the output of this TypeScript file into some other JavaScript file, I can give a name here. But let's say I don't give any name and press enter. Then TypeScript compiler is compiling a file, and now you see that there is a first.js created. It means the JavaScript code is generated. If I click here on first.js, you can see that this is the code of JavaScript. Now this code is ready to execute for the browser, or here also if I want to run, I can simply say node and first.js. So this runs the code. At the moment I have not written any console statement or anything, so this doesn't do anything. But the important point here is that whenever you have a TypeScript file like this, the code which you have in TypeScript, that you need to convert to JavaScript, and for that you use the TypeScript compiler, that is tsc. So now you know the basic idea about the TypeScript compiler. In the next section, we are going to start working with the coding. We'll start understanding the data types and other fundamentals of TypeScript.